Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a lovely 39mm white gold Harry Winston Premier Excenter Tri-Retrograde chronograph. The Excenter Tri-Retrograde chronograph takes a triple retrograde of chronograph seconds, minutes, and hours, combines them with a beautiful Vendôme-style hinged lug case, and adds a nicely finished and precisely regulated Frédéric Piguet automatic chronograph caliber. So this 39mm diameter watch measures 12.2 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug, with the lugs folded down all the way, it measures 50.7 millimeters across the wrist. Now, throwing the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, we'll zoom out a little bit to get a better sense of perspective and size and scale. The watch wears easily. I could imagine wearing this watch on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. It's quite flat, so as a dress watch, it will fit underneath the cuff. And because the lugs are hinged, their span across the wrist doesn't matter as much. They wrap down around. The timepiece features impressive hardware and software, as I am wont to say. Taking a quick look at the strap, you can see it is a Harry Winston factory strap in brand new condition. No crimping, no gouging, calfskin on the bottom. Large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top, a little bit of taper, medium brown. We have some bolstering for volume, a sheer cut side to show the layers of leather, a monotone stitch. It's in outstanding condition and fresh from the factory. You can also see the strap uses pull tab spring bars, so you can quickly and easily remove it from the case. The buckle is a Harry Winston factory piece that includes a combination of polish and satination, and you can see that well externally. It's a snap-shut friction-fit clasp that gives you security and protection against accidentally dropping your watch. And as you can see, it is fixed with screws and bars to the strap for security. You can see the design of the lugs as well as the lug junction. They echo the arch motif that's found over the Harry Winston flagship store in New York City. So if you go to the Harry Winston flagship store, you'll find that there are arches over the doorway, and those arches inform this design that you'll find on just about every Harry Winston collection, from the Premiers to the Oceans to the Opus series. Now, the watch is white gold, and as you can see, there's some nuance here. The case is relatively squat and thick, but there's a wonderful fluting inside the lugs, and you can see that there's a step to the bezel. The case is actually a monoblock case, and I'll explain what that means in a moment. Essentially, it means the case and the bezel are all one piece. We have these large, elongated, and relatively shallow chronograph pushers, and then a big, bold, partially countersunk Harry Winston branded crown that has a saw-like knurling to it to make it a pleasure to operate. The crystal, as you can see, is a little bit boxed and cambered, and then we have a dial with a vertical satination, and it has an anthracite color, so it's not quite silver, it's not quite black, it's somewhere between them. A dark metallic gray and a curtain-like grain from top to bottom. It's brushed from top to bottom. We have a little bit of a guilloche cut inside each of the registers for chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. We have the little shuriken logo of Harry Winston acting as our constant seconds inside of the chronograph retrograde seconds. And then we have an applique hour track that's been placed atop the dial. It's beveled or englaged on its side, and it's satinated with a sunburst pattern on its top. Then we have a concentric pattern inside underneath the hands, which are themselves black polished. So there's a lot to love here. Now, if I were to stop the chronograph and reset everything, you could see it works just like that. It's a wonderful little piece of horological theater to reset the triple retrograde chronograph. Turn it all over and you can see a Frédéric Piguet 1185, and it's obvious to anyone who knows the architecture of this movement what you're looking at, but in case you have any doubts, you can see there's a little FP logo on the base plate. That is for Frédéric Piguet, better known as Manufacture Blancpain. They are a high horology movement manufacturer, and the 1185, launched in the 1980s, is considered to be one of their greatest and most classic movements, really something approaching their magnum opus. This movement's found its way into watches from Harry Winston, Blancpain, Breguet, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron, and many, many more. It is the real deal as far as high horology is concerned. So the movement is automatic winding with unidirectional action, as a 40-hour power reserve. It's adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, pivots on 37 joules. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. and it features a column wheel with a vertical clutch. You could see the column wheel in action here. Makes for crisp feeling operation. The 40-hour automatic movement also features a vertical clutch for smooth engagement, so you can see the chronograph seconds hand doesn't jump when you start it. It merely commences motion. A lateral clutch can be a little bit sloppier. A lateral clutch chronograph will jump. You don't have that problem here. Moreover, because the vertical clutch engagement is seamless, there's no additional play in the system. It doesn't increase the wear and tear, so you can leave the chronograph running full-time if you like. And again, it has a very positive column wheel feel. All this water resistant down to 30 meters. Finishing on the Frederic Piguet movement is well done, as we have linear Côte de Genève stripes, black polished screws. You can see that the edges of the bridges are nicely beveled with mirror polish, and then there's an abundance of engine turning with satination on the wheels, so it is a good looking movement. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.